And now we are in the biggest crash that we've seen in crypto and stocks in a long time.
Tesla would suspend the use of Bitcoin for purchases over concerns about the use of electricity generated.
In this video, Michael Saylor and Cathie Wood respond to Elon Musk's absurd argument regarding Bitcoin energy usage and its impacts on the global climate. Both Cathie Wood and Saylor prove with actual facts and reasonable arguments why Bitcoin mining is not a big source of environmental pollution. Cathie talks about the differences in the energy used to mine Bitcoin and gold. Bitcoin uses a small fraction of energy for mining compared to gold. It is mostly utilizing renewable energy sources, and the energy consumption is less than the traditional financial world. And Saylor believes that Musk's opinion is a completely false narrative, and the entire Bitcoin community finds it tasteless. He hasn't studied Bitcoin and doesn't know that a huge amount of energy generated in the world per year is wasted. Hey everyone, and welcome back to Wealthy Value, the community for people looking to become financially smarter. Make sure to subscribe to our weekly videos where we cover the future of business, innovation, and finance. Also, stick around till the end of this video where I will reveal some of the latest price prediction for Bitcoin and what you should do. Buy the dip or sell the rip. Now, let's enjoy the video.
If you compare the energy use of Bitcoin in particular, compared to the energy it would take to mine gold, Bitcoin is digital gold, it's a fraction of it. And then if you want to think about it a little bit more broadly, because of course the Bitcoin blockchain and other blockchains are going to enable much more rapid settlement of trades and transactions than the traditional financial institution, say 10 minutes as opposed to a week or a few days. Think about the energy consumption of the traditional financial world, and you'll see in that chart what Bitcoin is using in terms of energy right now, which is mostly renewable, by the way, hydroelectric and other renewables, is again fraction. It hardly measures up.
Well, first of all, I think there's something cruel and tasteless about an entitled rich white male that wants to deprive billions of poor women and children and men in Africa, Asia, and South America of the basic human right of economic self-preservation so he can generate some laughs. And so I think the entire Bitcoin community, they just find it to be tasteless, what he's done, and elitist. With regard to the energy, again, the world generates 160,000 terawatt hours of energy a year. Of that, 50,000 terawatt hours of energy is wasted, like 30%. Of that, 120 terawatt hours is used to run the entire Bitcoin network. To put that in perspective, that's 7.5 basis points of all the energy in the world. The truth of the matter is everything on Earth uses more power than a small country. Bill Maher uses 10 times, or electricity that costs 10 times as much as the electricity used in the Bitcoin network to enrich himself. And he's not really thinking about it. If you take all the energy used in the Bitcoin network, it amounts to 25 basis points of all the wasted energy. So 0.25% of the wasted energy in the world offers the hope of a decent life to 8 billion people and solves an economic problem. But the 25 basis points is of the wasted energy, because the Bitcoin network is the bidder of last resort for all energy. So if you eliminated Bitcoin from the world and you robbed the billions of people of a decent chance at a decent life, then you wouldn't stop any waste. You're still going to waste 50,000 terawatt hours of energy. So he's focused upon a nothing. If you actually study the Bitcoin network, you'll find that there's about $1 trillion of assets under management. It's secured by about $2 billion worth of energy a year. Call it 20 basis points. 20 basis points of the energy in the network is the cost to secure it. Now, that energy probably cost about 2 cents a kilowatt hour That's what's being paid for it, maybe. And in many cases, it is literally discarded energy and there is zero value for it. No one would pay anything for it. So its marginal value of the human race is literally zero. Whereas the marginal cost of consumer energy and industrial energy is 9 to 11 or 11 to 13 cents a kilowatt hour. There are 50,000 terawatt hours of wasted energy, and this is literally 25 basis points of that. It's a nothing. If you're concerned about the environment, you're going to focus in on the dirty energy sources, and there's 100x or 1,000x bigger target in a lot of other areas. If you look at the energy consumption of the Bitcoin network, one of the characteristics of the proof of work network is that you only mine Bitcoin in a jurisdiction where the energy is cast off, stranded, or recycled, therefore marginally non-valuable. And you also only mine it in a place where you're politically welcome. So no one's going to set up a coal power plant in the middle of Central Park, Manhattan, and mine Bitcoin because it wouldn't be politically welcome. In fact, in any country where they were to decide that the Bitcoin miners are not welcome because they use energy, the miners are just going to move to a different country. And one of the powerful characteristics of the Bitcoin network is the fact that it is constantly decentralizing to the most politically supportive jurisdiction. It's also decentralizing to the place where energy is the least expensive, probably the cleanest renewable energy, but certainly the least expensive energy anywhere in the world. And the other thing that happens is, the miners are constantly securing the network because they're upgrading the technology all the time. And the miners are, because they're capital intensive, they're raising capital from financiers in each of these political jurisdictions all the time. And the combination of those things means that wherever mining's not welcome, it's going to move. And wherever it moves to, it's going to be by definition welcome. And it's going to be very harmonious with the energy grid. So I don't really think that the energy usage of Bitcoin represents a threat. I actually think the opposite, which is the energy usage of a proof of work crypto asset network creates 7 layers of security to the asset, which are absolutely critical. The first layer of security is they co-opt all of the energy producers worldwide to support the network, because you can sell energy at about 45 to 50 cents a kilowatt hour to the network. It's the highest value use of energy in the world, and anybody can plug into it. So that's very powerful. The second is it co-ops the technology producers. People are producing these SHA-256 ASICs, like the S19 miners, and that means all of the technology companies are continually building better equipment that's more energy efficient. The third is it co-ops politicians like the governor of Texas. There's no way the governor of Texas would be supporting Bitcoin except for the fact that Bitcoin mines in Texas are creating jobs and bringing tax revenues to Texas, and they're providing massive revenues to Texas energy producers. The fourth is it co-ops Wall Street, because Wall Street's financing all of these Bitcoin miners in a big way. And you're talking about hundreds and hundreds of multi-billion-dollar entities that are financing them.
And there you have it, what Michael Saylor and Cathie Wood think about Bitcoin. Now let's proceed towards some recent Bitcoin price prediction, and whether you should buy the dip or not. The BTC price dropped sharply after China started a crackdown of companies that offer the service. But since then, the cryptocurrency's price has recovered as investors rush to buy the dips. During these turbulent times, Cathie Wood of ARK Investment said that she expected its price to jump to $500,000 in the long term. Similarly, Elon Musk said that Tesla will keep its holdings. The same is true with Michael Saylor, who said that he expects to keep his Bitcoins. BTC is also rising after minutes by the Fed showed that the members have started discussing tightening. While this is a bearish thing for BTC prices, analysts believe that it could push prices higher since tightening has now been priced in. If we talk about the 4-hour chart, it shows that the BTC price has jumped from yesterday's lows of $29,977 to almost $40,000. On the 4-hour chart, the price is below the 50-day moving average. It is also below the important resistance level of $47,000, which was the lowest level on April 25th. Therefore, at this point, it is a bit difficult to predict whether the Bitcoin price will last. For it to happen, bulls will need to push it above the 25-day moving average at $42,500 and the 50-day EMA at $45,000. However, a drop below $29,977 will signal that there are still sellers in the market. This will open the possibility of the price falling to $25,000. And that brings us to the end of today's video. What are your thoughts about the biggest Bitcoin price dip of the year? Will Bitcoin recover or not? Tell us in the comment section below. Thanks for watching.